Yeah.
I'm glad you're still with us here, and of course a very interesting discussion. It is a Friday. So many times we talk about festivals and things like that. I know people that would want to have such things every time, every weekend, to go and eat somewhere at a festival and discover new things. But with me in studios, I have two amazing people, of course, who are going to talk to me about a very interesting festival. First of all, a very interesting name as well for this festival. That is Edigobe. Yes. Did I say that correctly?
I'm also not from Uganda, but I was told it is Edigobe.
Edigobe Food Festival, and of course the lady here that is trying to help me out is Patricia Musementa, who is the project secretary of Edigobe Food Festival. I think I'm going to be corrected along the way.
Yeah, sure.
And the extreme end there is, oh God, this is going to give me quite a beating.
Yeah, the name is Ramsigazi Chakunzire.
Yes, Ramsigazi, that's the one. Chakunzire.
Chakunzire, yes.
Chakunzire, yes. And he's the project director of Edigobe Food Festival. A very interesting discussion here. So not quite much that we bring people to talk about things like this. And of course, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I like hearing about things like this. But first of all, Edigobe Food Festival, what are we talking about?
Edigobe Food Festival, what we're talking about is culture food.
Okay.
But culture food prepared in a pot, from a pot.
Oh, I've had something in a pot before, but after that I didn't try it again, because when you bought the food you went with a pot apparently.
Oh, okay.
So how is this going to work really? What kind of people are you working with to make this happen?
We've worked with a lot of people, amazing people. One of them is actually him. We came up with this concept hoping to target the tourists who come in and they want to taste something Ugandan.
Okay.
Okay, the Rolex has blown up, but then we also want the matoke to sell, the kalo, the ochakucha, the bo. There's so much to Uganda than just that one thing. And also the drinks, because we're not just giving the food, we're also giving the traditional
drinks. Interesting. So how do you get involved in this and say, well, I want to be a part of this? This is something we need to showcase for. Like, I'm assuming it's in the bracket of the cultural tourism.
Yes. Ramsigazi Chakunzire is a Pan-Africanist. He's a filmmaker. And when you get two things together, Pan-Africanist and a filmmaker, basically what you're trying to do is portray your African culture outwards. And our food is one of those things that has been largely neglected most of the times. We talk about music, dance and drama, but our food, we never talk about it. And the only times we're talking about food is probably even prepared by Europeans, or even with a European aesthetic, if I could say. This time around what we have is we're having our African food prepared within our African setting. Like when you went to your grandmother or your grandpapa, what you usually had is food prepared in that African pot. There's entamu, what they call entamu. And that food has a different taste from the food that is being prepared from an aluminium saucepan. Also, the other thing is the fire that you're using. How long is it staying on the fire? Is it charcoal? Is it what? So that is what we're trying to bring in all of this. And when you go to a hotel, a Ugandan hotel, you'll be served what they call continental food, right? But it's actually not African food. You get it? So what we want to bring in, our hotel should also bring in that aesthetic of having, when I go to a hotel, I know I'm going to have African food prepared with ensua, a shande, or typically there's a typical African setting. And I'll note out some restaurants in Uganda that have tried to do this. And I'm sure when the people who have had food in these restaurants have had this experience. It's quite an exciting experience having to eat that food. It has this rich African aroma. And it doesn't go.
So basically it's done by the firewood on a pot.
Absolutely.
That's why it gave you an experience that, you know, someone went and got food in a pot. You know, when you buy, you go with your pot. I don't know how that is working for them, but hey. So when you're looking at the cultural aspect involving a culture, the players are there, right?
Yeah, right.
How do you intend to also involve? Because see, if we're looking at the tourists from out, our very own people don't want to know about these things. We've sort of attached modernity too you've developed, eh?
Yes.
That
I think that
you want to do the things the other way, not your way, and yet you can still push for your way, and just sort of.
I think that this brings us to the next point, why this festival particularly. Most of the food we consume, what we call the urban setting food, like if you go to a nice restaurant, most of the food that you eat is actually food that is not meant for you. It's not actually food that is healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's food that is meant to kill you, actually. So because of commercialization and everything, the processes we take to prepare our food has drastically reduced. So our food is actually poisoning us most of the times, and we don't know this. So this festival, we want to highlight the fact that we can use food to treat our bodies, right? We can use our food to have more meaningful and lengthy lives, because what you eat becomes you, right? So we want to show our people that African food has been, it is staple of our DNA, by the way. That's also crucial. Alkaline food. If you don't food that, if you're like a car that consumes petrol, and then they ingest you with diesel, you're going to have a problem, right? So this is what we're doing right now with our diets right now in Africa. So this festival is also going to bring this out. We have experts, nutrition experts. We have dietitians. We have doctors that actually know what
that are
happens.
going to be a part of the
yes,
process.
they're going to walk you through the kind of foods that you need, the herbs that you need, the preparation. So all of this is going to, after this festival, you're going to have a holistic experience of how African food is.
So we're looking at an entire push for how do you cook your food, what kind of ingredients, are they fresh, are they not fresh, and see we're in a generation now where everything is frozen. Even the meat that you get is frozen, and everything is frozen. So let me ask you, when is this happening?
This is happening tomorrow, and it starts at 1 till late.
So we're going to just keep eating and eating and eating
and drinking, and we actually want to highlight our culture in the food. So we want you to sit down on a mat, experience how we sat on a mat in the village.
So it's a whole setup. If I'm having my meal, it's not these things of tables and set up on mat. I could
There's that option if you can't
sit on a mat, and that's quite interesting.
But we want you to experience that. We want you to experience that. And
so no cutlery either.
The cutlery is there, but it's also typically African.
Also.
And I recommend that you actually use your hands when you're eating, because then you have a connection with the food that you're eating.
I keep telling people sometimes you put aside the cutlery, I need to get, for some reason the food tastes much better when you use your hands. Okay, I want you to talk to the people out there in regards to this. First of all, let me ask you this question, because she said she probably doesn't know what it means. Ndigobe. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Edigobe.
Edigobe.
Edigobe is food. It actually means food. Yeah, it's a Uganda word. It means food.
Different types.
Or like if you bring all the different. Now I'm getting the picture that you've explained. Now I get it.
And now it has been urbanized into an urban slang. When we talk about Edigobe, it's actually food. It's an urban slang now.
True. Okay. I should be more informed about this thing. Well, thank you for letting me know. I'm now going to use it more often. So talk to the people out there in regards to this particular festival. Why should they be there? It's going to be quite affordable food anyway, because we're looking at people's pots here.
Well, we were actually looking at the pockets, being it's our first time to do it. It's 30,000 for food and 1 calabash of drink.
What are those drinks you're talking about? What are the drinks?
Enturire, malwa. But you have to be there to get to experience.
I get what you're saying. Okay. So 30,000, that's a good price. Why should people be there for this? As much as we know, yes, we're showcasing our culture. Mostly you talk to the locals as well, because they'll be like, they're for foreign people.
Well,
in this camera, really.
Okay. Well, why I would encourage someone to come, we would like to uplift this food tourism. We have known pizza from Italy, we have known wine from France, but Uganda, we all start from somewhere. So if we can support each other and lift Uganda up, this will be a start of something major. I actually believe it's a start of something very big. If we can put our efforts in something like this, support each other. Of course, someone else might come up with a festival too If ours is not there, you can go there, support. So we are basically looking at uplifting our tourism industry, but still looking at what we have. We have the ports, we have matoke, we grow them organically. I actually have a friend who tells someone to bring her stuff to South Africa because she feels
she needs the matoke.
She needs.
I have someone who also likes the ghee and all those things. Please bring those things for me. And this is something we need to be proud of, because other people are appreciating what we have, but we're not marketing it quite well, are we? Okay, so these ports. Okay, anyway, we'll you get there to know how it's happening. I feel like that could be something huge or too much, but well, if you know, if it's worth the price, why not do it? Please talk to us as well. Now, you know, you yeah, I'll get it by the end of the
generally, what I want people to know is that what we're doing right now is even bigger than us, because we have people flocking to Africa to see what we eat as Africans. And what we have chapati. Chapati is not a bad delicacy, but it's not healthy still, the way it's prepared.
But you know, it's also something we took on from the Asian influence.
Yeah, it's an Asian delicacy. So from that, even us as Africans, we have to find a way of embracing what is ours and putting it forward. You get? So someone will come. If I go to Italy, I expect to have a pizza, right?
Yeah.
If I go to maybe Germany, I need to have their German beer, right?
Yeah.
So if I come to Africa, what am I going to have? I need to have a shandi. I need to have omuramba. You get? So this is what we are promoting as there's this new idea of cultural tourism. You get it? It's not just people coming to look at animals and the lakes and rivers, right?
They need to taste what we taste.
Absolutely. We also add it on to the package. And then there's also a whole host of jobs we can create. The hospitality industry.
Yes.
There's a lot we can add. The entertainers, the guys doing this kind of entertainment, the guys preparing and making these pots. There's a whole host of people that we can add on
You'll give
to
them
the workforce.
business.
Yes.
And see, there's so many countries out there that we know have amazing food in the ports, like you know, Morocco and things like that. But here, probably we think ports are dirty.
I think we think it's ancient. And that's
well, this time I'm going to cook with a pot, trust me. We'll see how it will take on. And it takes on good heat, really.
Yeah, it does.
Sort of
It does.
maintains the heat. Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Ramsigazi.
Ramsigazi Chakunzire.
This guy, he said, no, I don't like your English name. Right? Well, thank you so much. And he is the project director of Edigobe Food Festival. I'm also struggling there a bit. And right next to me is Patricia Musmenta, who's the project secretary at Edigobe Food Festival. Be there tomorrow. I think is it free entry and then you pay for the food?
Yeah, and it will be at Green Valley Hotel, Gaba. It's 200 meters off the junction to Speak.
Okay.
Munyonyo.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. This is very interesting to know about. Guys, if you want to go back to knowing how food is really supposed to be presented and taken in our own way, if you're using pots. I know there's so many other ways that they're looking into. I saw some pictures. Lovely, lovely. And thank you for your time. My time has run out. We come Monday to Friday, 9 to 10, bringing you the latest in the business, being able to have conversations with people like this who are pushing. You know, like we say, you don't wait for someone to do something for you. What are you doing at the end of the day? Rowena Kajumba from the entire business team. Lovely weekend. Thank you, my dear.